And welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm James.
And I'm BJ. Welcome back to your weekly booze, news, and reviews.
Podcast. Are you going to end it with that? I
Nope.
like that. No?
Nope. Booze,
Oh.
news, and reviews. That's us.
That's nice. I like it. Well, here's the thing, you talk about podcasts. You think, thinking in the world of podcasts, everybody and their mother has a podcast now.
Oh my God.
Full disclosure, we were on the bandwagon well before it became this huge, big thing. We were back at the Funhouse 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Driving the bandwagon.
Yeah.
I see all. I know. I mean, no hate.
No, we're not hating.
I don't want
to our fellow podcastians.
Definitely no hate.
But it's getting a little jumping the shark. See too much of it. Everybody's got one now.
I know.
And now, like, industries and businesses are jumping in. Like, I don't care.
Like, hey, everybody.
I don't want to watch a McDonald's podcast about like them talking.
This is JoJo at your local liquor store, and we want to talk about this. And I'm like,
or nobody cares. Nobody's watching it.
People that you know that come down and support you, and we'd love to be that guy or those guys.
The goal of this entire podcast, my personal goal, because your goal may be different. Is
old glories.
Telling war stories.
No, I'm talking about Old Glory's liquor store. Glory's liquor.
One of my main objectives is I just want to transfer knowledge from me to you guys, because I'm going to tell you right now, the internet in its entirety is a maze of misinformation and, bad info. And through experience of us, and not like we're like master distillers or something, but I mean, we've been doing this 4 years. And I got to say this because he's blown up the chat. Patrick Curry, we love you, man. Good to see you. He's live from T-Mobile.
Hold on. Here's what he does.
What is he doing at T-Mobile?
So Patrick can't,
the cup thing? What are they doing over there?
He can't hear us right now.
Oh, he can't hear us.
He is at an event, and Patrick is so committed that Patrick is at an event, can't hear us, but he tuned in. He is tuned in
from T-Mobile Arena on his phone
as a
sitting in the stands,
supporter and fan. So
I got Bourbon Cat, but could you clap for him a little bit? You want to look a round of applause?
Everybody, give Bourbon Patrick Cat, Curry some love, because
he can hear us. He says he can hear us.
Oh, well, that is some loyalty. So we love you, Patrick. Thanks for that.
Yes.
Well, Patrick, you tuned in on a good night too, because we are doing something super rad tonight. A whiskey that has deserved to be on this show for a while, and I'm real excited that we pulled it
Brett Kreischer comedy. Yeah, no. Oh, hold on. One of my favorites, Stavi is there. I think
Stavi's there.
I would die to see Stavi. Shout out to Stavi. I know he doesn't listen to anything like this, but he has his own, of course, going back to podcasts. Stavi has a podcast, and so does Bert. Is it Bert or Brett? I thought it was Brett. What's his name? Patrick, you're there. Is it Bert?
It's the Bears. It's the two Bears.
Yeah, I just know that he like
Bear Cave.
I just know about his podcast.
It was Bert Kreischer.
Patrick knows that Stavi's there. Okay, but I don't know if it's Bert or Brett.
I'm pretty sure it's Bert Kreischer.
But I have a cat's head resting in my hand right
now.
Well,
we got a man who's there at the actual show.
There you go. Move the camera down so you guys can see. I have one hand occupied on the Bourbon Cat, the one and only Jamba, 20 years young, blind,
and hanging with the barrel buddies.
Hanging with the barrel buddies, our Bourbon Cat, aren't you, Jamba?
Well, I want to go back to what you said earlier. Your goal is to educate and teach people about things, and I agree. That has been the point of the show, and boy, do we have a turn of events for you tonight. For those of you that like to
it is Bert. My apologies, Bert. If
Bert. It's Bert Kreischer. Obviously,
Bert,
a big fan of the
name
show.
Was Brett.
Obviously, he's a big fan of the show.
Obviously, he's a big fan. Shout out Bert, but shout out to my boy Stavi. Now we're talking. It's such a good show. You guys need to watch it. Anyways, what do we got here?
So
my apologies, I'm cutting off here.
We are going to do some education tonight, and we've changed it up a little bit because you know what? As I told Jimmy, I'm tired of terrible websites, as I know he is too. Terrible
websites.
So what we did tonight was we took our work background and we did something super nerdy.
We did something very nerdy. More so you, but here, let me add this source. Hold on a second.
Would you go ahead and show everybody what we've done?
Show your presentation. Oh, I can upload it here. Hold on.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. Our apologies for our
half-ass. For ill preparation.
Ill preparation.
Which I said, be prepared for this, please. That's right. What we're preparing for you is a PowerPoint.
It's uploading. Hang tight.
It's a PowerPoint presentation.
Hang tight.
So,
and I've never used this feature before, but it just says presentations. Bring presentations into the studio.
oh, I love it.
So it's processing the.
It's like, oh,
all right. So present. Let's see
present.
what it does.
Present.
Oh, and we're gonna be able to do this. Look at this.
That's the point. That's it.
Boop, and then boop. Yeah. Oh man, this is so amazing. I almost want to go this view. I almost want to let this.
No, do the side by side. Do the real side by side. Not that one. Do the one next to it.
That one.
No, the one next to it. To the right. That one.
This one. No, that
Oh,
doesn't.
that one looks
It's
terrible.
always weird. And it looks
terrible.
We
Hi,
got
everybody.
this or this.
Well, we could do that one. That one's fine. Hi, welcome to our presentation.
Let's get through the presentation.
Nikka Coffey grain. And I wanted to do this one tonight because this is one that gets a lot of hate. And people don't know a lot of things where they're like,
how does the coffee taste?
They made it from coffee?
I can taste the coffee.
It tastes like coffee, right? It's coffee whiskey.
Guys, I can taste the coffee.
No.
We're going to teach you coffee in this.
This really should be, see,
they didn't
really
misspell.
Should be Nikka Coffey grain.
I think they pronounce it Nikka, actually.
Okay, Nikka Coffey.
We might have to look that up.
Grain whiskey. So these are 4 separate things. They are 4 separate things. Nikka.
Yeah.
See? That's
Nikka.
what I'm saying. Nikka.
Okay, you're right.
Nikka.
Hold on. You can do slow.
I think that's dangerous. Don't do that.
Hold on. Fast again.
Nikka.
Nikka. Okay,
Very
cool.
Good.
All right, cool. Nikka.
The Nikka Coffey grain whiskey. So if you just go back to our presentation here.
Get back to our presentation.
I want to point out that it's 4 pieces here, and that's Nikka, the namesake, coffee, the still style, not the distilling style, but
so we'll get to that.
We'll
get to that. Yeah.
The grain, which is mostly corn, and whiskey. What it actually is, the result. This one's going to go down in the history books.
Do we go to the next slide?
So it's bottled at 90 proof, 45% ABV, and it has no age statement.
I love this. This is so fucking cool.
Thanks.
Whoa, I dropped that big F-bomb. Sorry. So edit that in post.
I'll edit that in post.
I'm very, very excited about this. Here's the thing. Now if we start doing this on a consistent basis, more so this is all credit to you.
Thanks.
This would be really cool to have like a repository.
Oh yeah,
of like this as a reference on the website.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So whenever we do a show, and then we can have our link to the show where we talked about this.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
Man,
I like the controls. I'm just watching the controls right now, and I'm like, oh wow, look at the controls.
Yeah. So I'm going back here to. You want to talk a little bit about the founder?
Let's talk about this. The founder. Yeah. So Nikka, the namesake. So the founder was actually Masataka Takatsura. And he traveled to Scotland in 1918 to learn the process of distilling of Scotch whiskey. He studied the organic chemistry at the University of Glasgow.
Wow.
And malt whiskey production at the Hazelburn Distillery.
Think about that, though. This dude in 1918 was like, I want to go learn how they make Scotch.
Yeah.
And what does he do? He goes to school in Glasgow.
I'm going to go to Glasgow. All right. Yeah.
And studied organic chemistry.
Yeah.
And can you imagine being in the actual, he's at Hazelburn Distillery.
Yeah. He goes to Hazelburn Distillery.
In Campbelltown. Oh, this is like legit historical Scotch country.
Correct. He goes to
he was in the heart of it.
Scotch producing. And Campbelltown is one of the smallest Scotch production areas in Scotland. So remember, there are 5 areas of producing areas in Scotland. Campbelltown actually has, I think, 2 producing distilleries.
And it may be Campbelltown. Our apologies to anyone across the pond that can correct us. Please do. But we're going to do our American best.
So he goes and does this. Then he joins the Kotobukiya, which is currently Centauri. Shout out Centauri. Jim Beam.
Love Centauri. Centauri. And
who helps establish that distillery.
Like, you don't like this, like in big beer. No, it's not. No, it's not.
And then he goes off after he establishes what is today Centauri whiskey. He goes and establishes his own distillery, which is today Nikka.
You're a little close. You're getting a little airy.
Nikka.
There you go, Nikka.
So that is
that was in 1934. So think about this.
Yes.
Oh, before starting. Oh, Nikka in 1934. So think about this. Do you think he has any? Is there, or does Nikka have any juice from like the 40s? Maybe.
Probably not.
Why not? You don't think they have stuff from the 40s? If he made it in 1934, say 4 to 6 years to
I don't know.
distill,
That's a good question.
are there some 40-year, like 40?
I don't know the answer.
1940s Nikka? I don't know. All
Hey,
right, let's
Nikka,
move on.
reach out to us. Let us know. All right. So now we're going to talk about the coffee portion of the title.
How the things are distilled and where does coffee come from?
Is it not coffee as in like the plant, the bean?
I can smell coffee on the nose.
Stop it. It's actually the
coffee
still.
tastes so good.
It's the still style from Anus Coffee, not Anus Coffee, but Anus Coffee.
All right, I really missed that. That would have been a great lead in for a joke because I'm dealing with Bourbon Cat here.
Hey,
sorry.
That's not my fault. So this is Anus Coffee, who builds a new style of distilling method called the coffee still. It is versus the traditional pot still. And what's different about this is it's stills that are stacked on top of each other for continuous heating. So it can actually continuously heat your liquid that you are distilling to turn into liquor. And it
you don't have to do batches, and it says that. Yeah.
So pot stills does batches. And a coffee still does a continuous distilling method. You can just go, 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 go. It also produces a higher alcoholic ABV. So I wish by volume.
I wish Redbreast would kind of, hey, take a look at this. Maybe, right?
I mean, they are traditional pot stills.
Yeah, but they could pump those numbers up.
God, those are amateur numbers. All right, so that's where coffee comes from.
Okay.
Next, we're going to talk about the grain, which is the mash bill. Grain, the mash bill here is a very high corn, 95% corn.
Here's the thing: though, the picture isn't more corn than the rest of the
it's
image.
More barley in the image than it is corn. My bad.
That's the only ding I'm going to give you on this.
Thanks. So 95% corn,
9.9 out of 10.
5% malted barley, which means this is not single malt. So for all of you or anybody who likes to go, Nikka whiskey is a single malt. No, they make a single malt, but Nikka coffee grain whiskey is not a single malt.
Okay.
This is a blend of 2 malts. It is primarily corn, which I thought would be fun after we drank such a high corn mash bill on 13th Colony last week. So there you go.
All right. So should we go to the
next
next
slide? We've got the grain
here?
And now whiskey, which is the result. And we do call it whiskey without the E because he traditionally learned how to do this in Scotland, which means that he's doing more of a traditional Scotch thing. So in your tasting notes, you're going to get more bourbon style.
Are we live? Where is everybody tonight? This is embarrassing. No, there we go.
Yeah, we're live.
Wow.
So big notes of corn, herbal notes of chamomile, and then on your palate, they expect you to get something that is sweet and fruity, flavors of melon, flavors of grapefruit, some crunchy biscuit, which is pretty typical when you're talking about a more Scotch-styled whiskey. You get that biscuity, malty grain that's coming out of the barley, and then fresh vanilla. So I thought you would like this as more of a bourbon enthusiast.
Cheers.
This is going to be a little more fruity. So let's get into this. That's my presentation. Leave a comment below if you liked that.
That was great. This is great. I love this formatting. I can tell that you put some effort into this. This looks really good. So what job well done.
You like all my pictures? I did all the pictures.
The pictures are great.
The background.
So here's the thing. You're getting to the point where you're almost ready to start editing the videos in post. You're almost there.
Yeah, almost.
There. I'm thinking I'm just going to go on Fiverr and get some guy to go through the videos and
stop it. I like to edit. Leave me alone.
All right, that's fair.
So what do you get on the nose here?
Okay, so
it is
herbal,
bourbony. Actually,
it's bourbony, and I like how you said it's like vanilla, bourbon like vanilla and corn with an herbal hint of chamomile. I get like herbaceous, like a. Maybe that is chamomile, and I'm just not super familiar with the base smell.
I mean, it should be a little floral and a little herbal.
Herbal and florals are very, very good way to do that. And guys, some people asked me the other day why I take off my glasses. So for those that are, have been wearing glasses their entire life, know that sometimes you get a little constriction on your nasal passages, and my glasses are pretty heavy. So it just helps, kind of opens it up some more, right? Like using those breathe right strips before you go to bed. But
Okay, here's
that's why you'll see me take off my glasses when I smell. Someone asked that. I was like, that's kind of random, but I'm like, oh, I guess I could. That's a valid question.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'll answer it.
I'm going to jump in and say
Please do.
I love the nose. I think the nose is very heavy-handed. I think the nose is very full-bodied. I think it's
Yeah.
very big nose, big nose, big notes of caramel, honey, vanilla. Big nose.
Here's the thing.
But the palate, like a typical Japanese whiskey, is very delicate.
That's what you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say, here's the thing. It's very delicate. That's what I was going to say, and you took the words right out of my mouth.
Big nose, delicate.
But it's delicate in such a good way. It's delicate, but it's still packed full of flavor.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
I know that's a little contradictory.
Oh, it's not.
But I think that it's delicate, but it's very flavorful still. And you're getting a lot of it mentions melon and grapefruit. I am totally getting that in such a fun, good way.
If you chew it, you actually get like grapefruit pith. You get a little bitter grapefruit pith, which is grapefruit peel.
Ooh.
And you may want to take us out of this presentation and into the
Let's get into
the actual screen here. Sorry.
Anyways, kudos on that presentation.
Thank you.
Shut that off, though.
Thank
Get back to us.
Yeah, I mean, so like melon, like Midori, right? Sweet melon, a little bitter grapefruit action, and I think that translates well into the finish. But there is great notes of vanilla and that creamy corn. What you expect is
very again. There's a lot of like
sweetness. There's a lot of layers.
It's like layers. It's like wow.
It's very complex. It's very complex.
I want to look up the latest price on this because we've gotten this bottle a while ago,
and we got it for a steal. So we found these bottles on.
Well, actually,
clearance.
this one though specifically was a gift from Zach from Christmas.
Nice. Very nice.
So this was a Christmas gift, but we have another one which to your discount story.
I ended up picking up like 4 of these at an Albertsons on clearance for like $35 a bottle.
Yeah, that was like 50% off.
And it was insane. So I was like, yeah, I'll scoop all those up. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's a $65 to $75 bottle.
Wow.
No age statement?
No age statement on these. There's no age statement. I'm curious if you can find something that says what they typically believe it to be. Yeah, I didn't go looking for that. I would guess, based on the complexity and just knowing how Japanese whiskey typically is done, I'm going to say 3 to 4 years.
Okay. All right. You keep chatting away there, and I'm gonna do a little bit of digging.
And here's what it says on the back of the bottle while we let James do his digging here. It says the grain whiskey is distilled in a coffee still, which is very traditional and rare. Still Nikka imported from Scotland in 1963. The coffee still produces a complex whiskey with a mellow and sweet taste originating from the grain itself. Please enjoy the uniqueness of this whiskey, which Nikka offers to its connoisseurs. Very nice. I think that very nice.
On distiller.com, because I like to quote our sources, Stephanie Moreno, and she is the editor-in-chief of Distiller, the website.
Yep.
Ton of credibility here. If you look at her info on her profile, she is saying that this is not Japanese bourbon or even Japanese corn whiskey. This is quite something else. ... There is no age statement, but the benchmark for this whiskey is 8 to 12 years.
Wow.
The profile is carnival candy filled. And while it is slick, it is not sticky sweet on your palate. Some vanilla and cinnamon are added to the flavors found along honey, wine, and peach. Hold on a second. I think she's completely out of her mind. And I think that I've gotten none of this, what she's talking about.
I think the candy is fine. I think there's a nice sweetness.
I maybe like a melon candy.
A homemade candy, like when you make corn candy. Like have you ever made corn syrup candy as a kid? Did you ever do that?
You know, Ramune melon. Let's talk about something that like The kids will know.
No, I don't know what that is.
All right, I'm going to share this because I think some of our viewers will probably know what this is.
I think your cat is hacking up.
She's having a hard time. You can't, I don't want to give her any grief.
Sorry.
I don't want to give Jamba any grief here. So, Jamba, I hope you're doing all right over there. So here we go. Let's get on this Romune because I want to share.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, the closest thing that I have to this is I'm going to go with Midori.
This is what I taste. No, this is very Midori-like. So for our friends out there,
liqueur, which is similar in color.
Yeah. So for our friends that have had the Japanese, I think it's a Japanese beverage, Ramune.
I'm going to say nobody who's watching this has ever had that.
It is a melon drink, melon flavored, and it is spot on to what a melon tastes like a cantaloupe, like a melon.
I mean, that looks like honeydew.
I don't know my melons. They're all cantaloupes and melons. They're all melons. Melon. It says artificial melon drink on the bottle. It could be a cantaloupe. It could be
a honeydew.
Honeydew.
Maybe it's a Crenshaw.
Christ.
Or canary.
What does that even mean?
Crenshaw melon.
A canary?
Yeah, these are all melons, by the way. Canary melons, Crenshaw melons. Do you go to the grocery store?
I get that melon. I don't buy melons.
You should.
I have it's so funny because we actually have a melon in the fridge.
You get a canary melon or a Crenshaw melon and then put a scoop of vanilla ice cream in the middle.
Okay. Hey, you're the melon guy, so I don't know. You're the melons. So I get that out of this beverage.
This is very nice.
So maybe that lady, back to bringing it back full circle, is getting sort of the same thing and seeing that it's like a sweet candy.
Yeah.
Because if you've had sweet. That, I do kind of get that melony, but it's very subtle and delicate. Like when people describe this to you, you have to remember, thank you, I was going to ask for that it's very light and delicate, albeit it has the complexity, but it's not intense in any form or fashion. So if that's your thing, this would be your thing.
This is nice. Yeah. Again, very delicate, big nose.
Sorry,
very complex.
Against the mic.
Nice, delicate on the palate, very light bodied. So I think that's the other thing is when I'm saying we're talking about complexity, and it's like, how can it be complex yet delicate? It's a body feel.
Yeah.
So it's a very light body.
I love that mouthfeel, by the way. The mouthfeel is like spot on, just a good,
super light. This is good. This is a good summertime sipper.
I keep going back to it. Like it's
summertime
sipper.
Like,
give me more.
Not heavy at all. I honestly would put club soda in this. I feel like this would be great with club soda.
On rocks.
Little rocks, a little club soda, a little Nikka. Delightful. Little highball.
Right there
little Nikka Japanese highball.
Nikka highball, and then just
delightful. Served with a melon spear.
What was the beverage we had? It wasn't Nikka, but you're talking about the highball with the highball machine.
That was the Suntory Toki highball. With the Suntory Toki highball
machine.
Hey,
Suntory, do the same highball machine and rebrand it Toki /Nikka because I think you could.
These are two opposing distilleries.
I thought you said it was Suntory.
He started Suntory and then went off and did his own thing.
Oh, my bad.
1938.
I didn't know that. Yeah. All right, my apologies. Sorry, Suntory, don't take
you
that.
failed your history lesson.
But Nikka, you're missing the boat on what Suntory's doing.
This is delightful.
They're a highball machine where it just like it's already chilled and they just pour down that. What is it? A seltzer water, basically.
Yeah,
like
it's a seltzer water, but it's 100 times more bubbles than what you find in champagne.
Extra carbonated, and man,
really
those are so. Talk about pool pounders to the
very lovely.
Next level. They're so good.
So let's get into some score.
Yeah, let's get into some scoring. As you guys know, we rate it off of 3 categories. So we do nose, taste, and value.
Yeah.
In the past, we've done is there like a buzzing? Do you hear this, or is it just me? I'm getting a little bit of. It could be the fan. I'm getting a little bit of feedback, like a hair of feedback. Yeah. That's it.
Oh,
I hope
I'm breathing.
Our friends can.
Sorry, it's me breathing.
It's like you're labored breathing in the mic.
It's so hot.
Just do not start labored breathing in the mic. Anyway, what was I even talking about?
Score. You're going to talk to us about scoring.
Okay. Originally, we used to have a 10 scale, basically 0 to 9. We'd rate those 0 to 3, each one of those. Nose, taste, value for a total of 9. We'd give 1 point for a blown away bonus. And we were all kind of like, all the scores were kind of like around the same. Like
they're still around the same. Stop.
They're still around the same. But we've basically added a 0 at the end, and now they're all one. It's a 100-point score system. which we think is a little bit more in tune with what most people are doing. Sub 1K, it's great to see you. Glad to see you. Let's do
Hey,
beverages
Bobby.
soon, please. I would just love to catch up and have a cocktail with you, man. So nose, I'm gonna give the nose a. I'm not giving the nose a great thing. I'm like a great rating, great thing.
Great score.
Like it's okay, but it's not prominent. It's not like doesn't stand out.
Okay.
It's mellow and delicate and light, and I think that deserves like a 2. I think I'm gonna give the nose a 2.
Wow, really? You think it's mellow, delicate, and light?
Yeah. Wait, nothing's wrong with that.
No, I'm just.
It's just
double-checking.
it's not like a piece of pound cake punching me in the face with like a boozy, like some crazy nose, like
Pounding you in the
Rancio or
face.
something. Like it's just there. It's delicate. I appreciate
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So I think a 2 for me. Okay. Taste, on the other hand, wow, very complex. This is a $65 to $75 bottle. You can pretty much find this at any liquor store if you guys are looking for it right now. It's pretty much readily available.
Okay.
I'm going to give that also a 2.
Okay.
As well.
Great.
I think it is a very good kind of that. It sets the bar. I think this sets the bar to where this is the bare minimum of what a good whiskey is, and you need to accomplish more if you really want to stand out from the pack. Does that make sense? Like, I think this is setting the bar for a really delicate, complex, very solid Japanese whiskey. If you want to beat this, I think that you need to, I don't know that you can really beat the taste. I think you're going to have to try to make up for it in the nose and value.
Hibiki is the only thing that I think I'm going to say.
I'm
Japanese
with you.
whiskey.
I'm still a big
like,
Hibiki guy.
I think Hibiki beats
17.
it.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. All right.
Sub 1K says, hey, buddies at the barrel. He's had it before. It's certainly delicious. The Nikka.
Agreed.
No, we're all about it.
So what's your score? 2. You gave it a 2-2, and for value.
So I'm going to give it a 2-2 and value, 2-2 and a 3. I think the value is stellar. I think between 65 to 75. I think it's more so 65. If you guys are price conscious shoppers, you'll find it for 65 out there. If you can find it at that, I give it a 3. If it's $100, I'd give it a 2. So with that being said, you add those up, plus kind of like my own scoring system in my brain. I'm floating around the 80s somewhere, like the upper 80s. I'm giving it above an 80. I think I'm going to give it an 85. I think I'm sitting at an 85 with this Nikka whiskey.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay.
Take it away. Chris Conrad. How you doing, bud?
Oh, this is a Chris Conrad beverage.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah. Bushy. Okay. So for nose, I've got to disagree with you a little bit. I think I think this is a big, heavy, bold round.
If you can put your schnoz into it, you got to get into it to get it.
I don't think so.
It's not like floating around the room like some like Bull Run or something that like some 14-year.
I agree. It's not
MGP.
Jumping out of the glass.
I hate to say Bull Run, but
it's not jumping out of the glass.
It's not jumping out of the glass, but it's pleasant and it's
heavy.
It's not heavy. It's not big.
I do. I think it's big and heavy.
Okay.
For as light and delicate as it is on the palate, it's big and heavy on the nose.
Sorry for banging again.
For the nose, I am going to give it a 2.5. On the palate, light, delicate, complex, great flavors of honey, vanilla, this honeydew melon, the pith of the grapefruit, and it's just barely. I mean, when we talk about the bitterness,
very complex. There's a lot going on.
Bitterness is so light; it's not in your face.
It's not even like a sour bitterness. It's just very. It's not there.
Balanced. It's so.
I don't like grapefruit. I'm going to tell you that right now. And I get grapefruit in this, and it doesn't. It's not off-putting.
No, it's sweet grapefruit.
Yeah.
And there's like a nice. So the high corn mash bill is very sweet, but it's again very balanced. I think the aging has done just everything for this. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 3 on the palate. I love it. $75 for this is where I
say 65. Let's not say 75 because
I'm going to fall on 70 then. I'm going to
say 70. $70.
All right, $70 for this. I think what you have to talk about is what the average cost for Japanese whiskey is right now in the market. Your Japanese whiskeys are ranging anywhere from $80 to $135 a bottle.
More than that. There's
for
so
your
many
low end. For your low end,
everybody's jumped on the bandwagon, and there's so many rando Asian.
And it's bad. It's not good.
Because they're trying to they're riding the laurels of Nikka.
Agreed.
And as well as
Hibiki
and
Kavalan.
Yamazaki and Kavalan,
which is not even Japanese. That's
I know
Taiwanese.
But I think just those huge names. There's so many rando brands out there, and everybody's like, "Oh, you got to go get the Hakatoki Yoki," which is like, "Oh, it's like some
very
15
sensitive
year
of you."
That they all pretty much sound like that. And
you
it's like
the Kiko Man brand.
Yeah, and it's like, "Oh, it's an 18-year rando that's $500, but it tastes magical." I'm like, "Are you guys out of your mind? You're buying from a no-name distillery. You're getting some random product. Stick to the core brands." Yeah, I'm all about going outside of the box.
And there's new guys that can do
value,
well.
Guys.
They can do well.
Yeah, they totally can.
Value.
But I'm talking about value to what you're drinking and what you can get for spending a tenth of that.
I think that, again, when you
talk
about
$70, not $600 to $700.
Because we talk a lot about value on this show, and we talk value at
value is like our
$40.
Core. Value is one of the Barrel Buddies core principles.
Agreed. And we talk about this a lot. So I think when we try to tell you that $70 is a value, you're going to go, value. What? What are you talking about? What? No.
I'm almost to the point where I'm like, don't even spend over $100 on a bottle of alcohol at all anymore.
But this is,
guys, it's a food product.
Yeah.
And we're all eating it. And it's all made from a recipe. We're basically here reviewing pieces of cake or cookies. It's a food product.
You're basically reviewing something that's going to be pee tomorrow, if not sooner.
Exactly. And some people get so sensitive and so bent out of shape. If you dare say
not time for the rant.
One word,
just stop and shut it down,
and are against the norm, and want to complain about it.
Pretty low there, big guy.
Okay,
sun's getting pretty low there, big guy.
Good.
All right. Good. So I'm going to give a 3 on the value as well. That's a 2.5, 3, 3.
Yes.
Okay, that's 8.5. That puts you right at 85. Am I blown away? Maybe a little. I do feel like I got to put this in the 84 out of 100.
Oh, you're giving it. Why are you digging one on? Can you go 86? Because I'm going to tell you right now, you like this a lot more than I do. I can already tell you that right now. I know you do.
I don't know that I do.
That's not the impression that I've gotten so far.
Maybe I do.
The impression that I get.
For you, James. For you,
give
Jimmy.
Me an 83 then.
I'll give you an 86.
I'll go 86. One up me. I can give me the lower score.
I'll one up you.
I'll go 84 if you want to reverse it. I'll go lower.
It's your premonition plan yet? Yeah, I'll go 86. I'm fine with
that.
Go
86.
I think it's great.
I'll go 85.
I think it's
great. Or if you want, I'll go 80. I'll stick with 85, or I'll go to 84. You go 85. All right.
I think 86 is good. I do like this, and I do think it could be a daily drinker. And I would add club soda to this and some rocks, and I think it would be delightful.
Yes.
I think it'd be a great summertime highball.
And here's the thing. There's a lot of whiskeys out there, let's talk about this, that do not fall into those categories. Mm-hmm. Do not fall in a highball category. No, do not fall in the rocks category. And the versatility...
Knob Creek, do not add.
Stop. The versatility that I think this bottle has is one of those reasons why I think it gets a little bit of a higher score from us.
Sure. It's good.
Echoing off of you said the highball, the rocks, the club soda, this in a good way can actually be a very, very pleasant mixer at a very light level. I'm not saying mixes with Coke. No, you can't put a flavored mixer with this because it's very light and delicate.
No.
But I actually think the club soda is huge.
A Fever Tree ginger ale.
Oh.
A Fever Tree ginger ale. I wouldn't put any other
my lingo.
Ginger ale. I think that it would get lost in a Werner's, a Schweppes, a Canada Dry. It would get lost.
You can't do that.
But a Fever Tree ginger ale, where it was more ginger forward, where the herb of ginger root would play well with this, I think would be a good place to blend and mix. You'd have to match complexity with complexity. If you start adding crap mixers to this, forget about it.
Yeah, no, forget about it.
Just forget about it. So, well, that's pretty much it.
That's it.
That's it. Thanks.
I mean, we're in the mid 80s.
Yeah, it's good.
You say go out there and get it. You're hunting it down, or what do you think? Does it need to go in the bar? Is it like a maybe or a?
If you have been looking for some diversity in your bar, I'm talking a big, old wooden ship, then Nikka Coffey Grain Whiskey is what you need.
I like that. And
it's a go-getter.
It makes me. Do we need to look at their website?
Oh, don't do it. Sad.
Is it bad?
I don't know.
Oh, it's all in like Japanese.
I don't know, but we've been so disappointed.
Actually, it's not terrible. It's not great though, but it's not
great.
terrible.
It's not good. So
what I wanted to see is what they had available.
Okay, seeing that brand, I will bring next week the single barrel. I have a bottle of single barrel at home, and I'll bring it. So next week we'll do Nikka single.
Okay, let me just share. I want to share. Let's go through it real quick, real quick here.
Okay,
just so our friends and viewers can see it along with us here as I talk about it. Okay, so they do.
Looks like a toasted. That looks like a toasted barrel.
No, it's a single malt Yoichi.
I told you they do a single malt. This is not it.
Single malt Miyagiko Gikyo.
Well, this is a long time for you to be practicing
Nikka
Japanese.
Taketsuru, which is another great, so good. I love the Taketsuru line. Straight from the barrel, which we do have. We can do the single barrel. I have it. You don't have to bring one.
You don't have one?
I do have one.
No.
They're in the cabinet.
Oh. All right. We'll look at it afterwards.
The Nikka, okay.
The coffee grain.
What is that clear one? Oh, they do gin and vodka as well. Ugh. Nikka Days.
Sounds like a problem. Nikka Days sounds like a problem.
Oh, I'm not messing with this. Such a pain in the ass.
Don't do that. What is that?
That is called Rare Old Super.
What is it? No, I want you to mess with that.
All right. Let's just say we're from
Are we sharing? Wait, are we sharing with everybody? See what Rare Old Super is and why we are so.
Okay, Rare Old Super.
Look at that bottle.
It's kind of obnoxious. It looks like a dimple, dimple
sharing.
pinch bottle a little bit.
It does look like a dimple pinch bottle.
All right, so
I like it.
Super Nikka is a blended whiskey born in 1962. Masataka devoted himself into creating this whiskey soon after his wife's death to represent his deep love for her. Wow.
I'm immediately sad.
He could never have accomplished his dream to make genuine whiskey in Japan without the support from Rita. It is a classic style of blended whiskeys with gentle peatiness and hints of vanilla and sherry. These beautiful flavors are rounded and well-balanced with a smooth texture and mellow mouthfeel. This product does not meet all the criteria of Japanese whiskey defined by the Japanese Spirit and Liqueur Makers Association. Oh, interesting. There's a label standard for Japanese whiskey.
Well, we don't want to get into that.
No, that's another. We'll actually. Oh, look at this. Oh, we need to go over this.
Sounds like we found some things to learn.
Minimum 3 years, by the way, is what they're saying, and it's got to be at least 40% needs to be bottled in Japan. Oh, okay. Interesting. Raw ingredients must be limited to malted grains, other cereal grains, and water extracted in Japan to be called Japanese whiskey.
I mean, it sounds like we got a trip coming.
I'd love to go to Japan and just drink whiskey. Can we do that?
I mean, there's nothing stopping us.
There's nothing stopping us. But like, is there? Like,
my wife says yes.
I'm sure they are not. They are not. So they don't have it together like the Bourbon Trail in Kentucky.
Are you sure?
But that's probably
that might be to our advantage.
The Bourbon Trail in Kentucky right now is like the Disneyland for adults in a bad way.
I was just gonna say
everything bad about
that
Disney lines and cost and money and unavailability is what the Bourbon Trail is right now. So don't think that you're going to go to Kentucky and plan some boys trip and it'll be fun and no one will be around and you're going to be able to hang out. No, you're with mobs of people, lines of people, like at Disney, at all of these places. Everybody and their mother
if
is
somebody
at these
said,
places.
"Hey guys, do you guys want to go to a Bourbon Trail trip right now?" We'd say,
"Oh yes,
yeah, we're in. We're
hands down." I mean, it's worth the pain.
Well,
really quick, no ginger ale and pappies from Chris, and Bob dreams of genie bottles. I love that.
Do do
For the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
And I'm BJ. This has been fun. We'll see you next week for some Nikka straight from the barrel.
See you. Oh, Mrs. Askin says boys trip. Don't miss. Yes, boys trip. But actually, you're allowed to come.
I would say plus her
because we need a
she's
DD.
not going.
Oh, but she's gonna partake with us.
Going.
All right. So if you go with us, Mrs. Askins, we can't call it a boys trip, which is fine. But then we're also going to need a DD with us.
We're going to call it boys trip. We'll bring
boys trip plus one.
Somebody.
We'll figure
boys
it
trip
out.
plus one.
We'll figure. No. Like
boys,
it'll
be called boys trip plus two because it'll be plus her plus somebody else.
Okay, that's fair. All right, we're going to figure it out, and obviously we're going to stream it for you guys, so no one's going to be left out here on the show. So again, and she said, "You're not going without her." So
I know. I know. Oh, I'd be divorced. I would be kicked out into the front street. Yep.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a little bit of FOMO here for the people because we're going to end the show, but I want to break into like the 17 and maybe we can record it.
I think we should. Okay.
Because we're already 40 minutes. We're 41 minutes actually. We're a little
cut
here, but
cut.
Again, for the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
I'm BJ.